In a world filled with intergalactic space battles, metahuman destruction on a global scale, and psychopathic serial hauntings, there's only one team who can make sense of it all. When your world is overrun with rampant pop culture, call Loop and Derry, Guardians of Geek.
90-second explosion.
Yes. Here we are. Hey, everybody, I'm Loop.
And I'm Larry.
And this is Guardians of Geek. And we are back again. Sort of a Halloween edition, I guess. Halloween, maybe like a few minutes away, but we still have time. A little bit of time to get it in before the 31st.
As long as we can get it in under the wire, it doesn't even matter. Like we can go like October 30th at 11:59, and it is still considered our Halloween show. That's the rules we've set for ourselves. So
it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't really.
So it is Halloween, and it's basically we're almost here. And we went to the Frightmare in the Falls con again this year, which was a lot of fun. I had a good time.
It's one of my favorite cons. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's a genre con, right? I mean, it's all horror. That's all it is. Which the other cons that we go to, Fan Expo and Niagara Falls Comic Con, seem to have eliminated the horror element from their cons. They used to have like a section, but now for whatever reason there isn't any. So this is the one time of year that we can go to a con that's just all horror, and it's literally the week before Halloween every year. So it's themed properly. And this one was I thought this was a good one.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of number one, there's a lot more space to move around because it's a very niche-y con.
Yeah.
So it's you kind of eliminate like certain like types of geekdom at this one, which frees up a lot of space. But it just seems like you can approach like celebrities a lot easier. You can get into booths a lot easier to look at things. I just like the whole style of this one, and there were some pretty cool guests this year, and it was like I met Dee Wallace, which was cool, and got a photo with her. John Franklin from Children of the Corn was there, who looks exactly the same, just a little bit older.
It's true. It's really kind of uncanny.
Yeah, and he's super nice, like super nice. Like after I'd finished my photo with him, I went out to collect my photo, and he came out like patted me on the back and said thanks again, and like it was like just like crazy. Like I'm like, okay, that's kind of nice. That's very cool. I also did the Halloween 3 duo as well, which was very cool. Of the pictures I posted, like the John Franklin from Children of the Corn was by far the most popular one, surprisingly, like because everybody remembers him from that movie and how frightening he was.
Yeah, it was great. They had a really good lineup. Like you mentioned, Dee Wallace. This one was they had an E.T. reunion, which E.T. is one of my like top 5 movies of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it made my list when we did our top 5
Probably
movies.
not, no.
But as of right now, it's in there. I've totally reworked my whole list. Anyway, so they had Dee Wallace, who played Mary, the mother. They had Henry Thomas, who was of course Elliot. They had Robert McNaughton, who played the brother Michael, and they had Matthew Demerit, who was 12 years old, or 11 or 12 years old at the time. He doesn't have any legs, so he was cast to play in the E.T. suit when E.T. had to move around. Like when you saw, so like the scene where he was drinking beer in the fridge and then he falls over, that was Matthew in there. So it was like a full reunion. So I got their autographs, and it was just, and they are the nicest people. Dee Wallace was just so gracious, and all of them. Robert McNaughton just wanted to talk, and you know what I mean. Sometimes we run into these cons, and the celebrities are not quite as friendly as you hope that they will be. This year, this group, maybe it's because it was a genre con. I don't know, but this whole group was just awesome. Like all of the people that we met were just lovely people.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really fun time, and if you can ever make it to just a strictly a con that's just horror,
Yeah.
I'd like to try some other ones. Like that's the only one I really know of, at least in Canada or at least in our area. But like if I know there are other other cons out there that are just horror based, and I'd like to try some of the other ones to see what they're like. Oh, we have Shock Stock too. Sorry, we do have Shock Stock as well. So
yeah, but Shock Stock is even more genre because it's more like almost like grindhouse.
Yeah, grindhouse exploitation sort of genres, but it's good too as well. I love it.
It's great. Yeah.
So the other thing I just wanted to mention quickly, I have two things. One, I finished my 31 Days of Horror.
Yes.
I just and actually about a week to spare too, which was pretty good. So
that's pretty impressive.
I watched a pretty good array of movies. Of course, all the Texas Chainsaws are done, all 9 of them, which 4 of which are called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not 2 of them are called Leatherface, so not confusing at all in this whole thing. And there's I think 5 timelines, like the first 4 from one timeline. There's another 2 that are another timeline, a third. It might be 4 timelines altogether. Like
any sense? It's so all over the place, and only you would have sat down and watched them all back to back.
Yeah, I had to break them up with the other movies, but I got through them all because I didn't want to just watch all those back to back to back. So
right,
I kind of broke them up. So
that'd be a lot.
I also in this one watched. I watched our favorite Wicker Man was in there from 73, and the Nick Cage Wicker Man.
Not our favorite Wicker Man.
Not so good. No. That one is a bit of a tough watch, but I made it through, so it was all right. But anyways, a lot of great movies. It's a great way to kind of, because I break them up. Like I try to watch ones from all sorts of years, but it's a great way to kind of watch a lot of different horror and not just in one sort of genre, or one sort of decade. So I really mixed it up a lot. So which brings me to my last thing is that just there's a few more days in Search of Darkness. We usually have David Weiner on. They've got their new doc. You have to the end of this month, the end of October to get in on this. It's In Search of Darkness 95 to 99. So you can go to 90shorrordoc.com. And this one and all the other ones are so amazing. We just couldn't get our schedules to talk to David this time. But this one looks awesome because it is a great decade of horror, the 90s. It's a forgotten decade. We talked about that last time we had him on. But this one focuses on the back half of the 90s, which is a lot of I know what you did last summers and a lot of those ones with 500 teens on the cover of the movie, and it's every teen star from TV is in these movies basically. But it's gonna be awesome. So again, 90shorrordoc.com. Don't miss out on these. If you've never seen these movies, and I think you can order some of the other ones they've done as well. They always deliver. It's amazing. And I saw somewhere, I'm just gonna quickly this one's at 12 hours running time. Which is crazy. And you think 12 hours, how am I going to watch that much? But you can, and you start watching it and it is addictive. So I love it. So,
well, the 80s, I think it was 85 to 89 is still the only movie I've ever watched that was 5 hours long that I literally watched start to finish in one sitting. Literally watched the whole 5 hours at once. I kept thinking, okay, I'll just watch another hour and then I'll stop. Nope, I'll watch one more and then I'll stop. And I ended up watching the whole. That's how compelling these documentaries are. If you are a horror fan at all, or just remember that genre from from growing up, you have to watch these things. It's such a nostalgia trip. It's so good.
Yeah, and you'll literally be making lists the whole time of movies that you forgot about or whatever, and you have to see. Or in our case, buy, generally. Yes. I got to own this, even though I haven't seen it, but I still have to own it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right, well, let's just move on to pop top.
The top pop.
Hey kids, it's time for Luke and Larry's Totally Tubular Top Pop.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I just had a stroke or something. I'm not sure.
Luke forgot 2 words. We can talk for an hour, and there were 2 words that I couldn't remember. Oh, that was
Top
good.
Pop. Welcome
Top
to Top Pop. That's it. There you go.
Yes.
Welcome to Top Pop, where we talk about things either we're into right now that are geek related, or maybe it's like something that's hot right now, some sort of show that in pop culture that we love, or movie, or game, or whatever it is. So Larry, I'll get you to start first on this one.
Well, I've only got one this time, and it's all consuming for me. So this is the only thing I in my whole life. This is the only thing I'm dealing with right now, and that
Dealing
is
with.
that's the return of Pennywise. So
Oh yeah.
it's the TV show. Welcome to Derry. It just dropped as of the recording of this podcast. It just dropped about less than a week ago. So only one episode has aired so far, but I am so obsessed with this show. I mean, as you know, I mean, we've talked about this over the years. My son and I have visited the set because they shot the movies, both movies, and this TV show in a town about 3 hours drive away from us. So we've made the trek all three times. So we've been on the set for both of the movies and for the filming of this TV series. And we were there for the TV series 2.5 years ago. Like
Oh
that's when
wow.
that's when they were shooting this. It was May of
God, it was that long
2023.
ago, eh?
Yeah, so it was a long time. So we've been waiting for this thing for literally 2.5 years. That's how long they've been working on it. So when they finally launched it, and I saw some of the places we were standing, it's just like I have such a connection to this whole series. But this, so even if I didn't, this series so far after the first episode is like it's doing the series, it's doing the franchise justice. I'm sure Stephen King is the happiest guy on the planet right now because it's just adding to the lore of Pennywise and the town of Derry and the people of Derry. And this particular season starts in 1962, so it's going back. They're going back. There's going to be 3 seasons. Each season goes back 27 years because that's how long it is between appearances of Pennywise, 27 years. So this one is 1962, and it's just glorious. Like it's just it just looks fantastic. It's shot beautifully. It looks very cinematic. Like it looks like the movies did. So it fits
Yeah.
perfectly into the the Pennyverse. I'm gonna call it. But yeah, so this is I'm sure that because this now runs until I think middle of December, and I'm sure that every week I'm going to be talking about it. So just get ready for that.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm so obsessed with it. I've already watched it twice. I'm going to watch it again tonight with my son who hasn't seen it yet. So yeah, that's all I can do for the next 2 months is watch this show.
Well, I hated it. No, it was amazing. I wasn't sure what to think of, like, or where they would go with this. And already the end of the first episode, big shocker at the end. It was like it was just a lot of cool scenes, and I can see them building something in this for sure. So it was good. It was really well done and creepy and scary and weird and everything else you'd love from one of these, but still keeping the same style and feel of, like, especially the first It movie. Like it has that same sort of feel, and which I did love. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
Almost
and
Stranger Things, a little bit of Stranger Things feel to it as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But what's fun about it is that, and just like you said in the first movie, there's humor as well. So it's not like just straight up horror. Like
yeah,
the kids who are in this series are similar to the ones in the first movie where they are like kids, so they say funny things, and so there's some lightness to it too, which makes the dark stuff even scarier. And let me just put out there, if you're not a fan of gore, you might want to avoid this movie because it's pretty violent. Or this TV show, it's pretty violent as well, but it's not gratuitous. It's
no,
everything is there for a reason, but it's quite something.
yeah, it's really well done. I was really pleased with it, and I can't wait to watch the second episode. Like there's shows that I would call like event TV.
Yes.
I think this is one of them. Like, a Stranger
Yes.
Things to me is an event TV sort of situation. This one definitely is. Like, it's
100%.
it's in its own sort of realm, like, already. And it's and again, it's got a lot of the same team as the movies.
Yep.
And the fact that, like, Bill Skarsgård's back as Pennywise is pretty cool as well.
Yep.
Like So
and the first episode was directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed both of the movies. So it's his, and that was part of the, like when my son and I went to the set in 2.5 years ago, we met Andy Muschietti on set. Like he's there. So he's essentially, and what he has said in interviews is that initially this was going to be another movie. They were going to make a prequel movie, like part 3 of, part 3, essentially chapter 3, and it was going to be a prequel, but then they realized there was too much material, there was too much content, and it evolved into this 3-season TV show, which I'm all for. Give us more. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, and that's the best part about TV now, is that there used to be like TV was just a whole separate realm, but now it's the storytelling aspect, to be able to have the longer time to storytell, is like so much better now. And so, and it's in the shows now, like a Game of Thrones has as big a budget as half the movies out there, per episode. So it's like watching a mini movie each week, and it's just so good. Yeah, it was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, that is definitely one to watch for this year so far. Like it's gonna be good. We'll see where it goes, but this has been a great year for TV, and this just adds to it as well. So it's been good.
100%.
Yeah. So I've got this week. This is something that has nothing to do with anything that's out right now, though there is talk of some of it. I am addicted right now to, like, everybody gets into something all of a sudden, right? Like you get into something that you buying something or getting something. Mine right now is I'm into the James Bond books. And I don't read that fast, so I'm not like I'm reading them like at a super fast rate. But for some reason, I bought like a James Bond, like Ian Fleming box set. So that started my thing, and it only had 5 books in it. So then I'm like, okay, I got to complete the series. So then it started with that. Then it started with, okay, who else has written books for Bond? Because I do remember reading a couple books from John Gardner when I was like in the 80s, like, because he was the main writer for it then. I didn't even know Ian Fleming wrote the books at that point, because I just found a Bond book. I'd seen a couple Bond movies, and that was how it went. So and then I got that too. So I've got kind of like so I got your classic Ian Fleming, like Bond.
Perfect.
Moonraker. Yeah. And then you got your John Gardner books. Death is Forever. They always have like cool titles. And then this one is Raymond Benson, and he's written a bunch. And he's written 6. Whoops.
Yeah. Put it in front of you. There you go.
There we go. So he's got his are actually collected into 2 volumes. Plus he's got a bunch of short stories as well. Okay. And those 2 authors also wrote like Goldeneye, and like they did the novelizations of those movies as well. So, and then there's a bunch of other books I haven't got into yet, but by separate. But anyways, I am like right into this. And right now too, the whole Bond thing is the who's going to be Bond. And that's been going on for a while now. And and I think Prime owns Bond now, Amazon.
Yes, Amazon.
So you're going to see probably like a Q movie or Q TV show at some point of it. Yeah. Like it's going to be a Bond verse now that they own it, because they're going to like exploit it as best they can to make money, right? So I think you're going to see more. Like, there'll probably be like a young Bond show. Like it's just going to be like out there. So, but I can't wait to see like who plays Bond. And I think, as far as I know, it's not going to be someone who's done it's not going to be a huge actor that we're all going to be expecting it to be. They want it to be someone, because they want to sign this person for like 5 movies or something. So this is going to be someone that's obviously in shape. I think that's before anything else. I think they have to be British and in shape. I think those are the 2 main.
Pretty much it. Yeah. I'm really hoping now that Amazon has it, we're going to see a Blofeld's Cat spinoff.
Oh, I can't wait for that. That'd be like really a cartoon feature.
More,
like an animator.
More of the adventures of Blofeld's Cat. What? I just think that'd be fun.
They have to ruin everything. They have to like add some weird
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very. So,
anyways, that's mine for this week. I just it's funny the things you suddenly get into, and then you're just obsessive and you can't stop.
That's what we call our lives.
Yeah, that's basically everything that we do right now. So
yes.
And speaking of buying stuff, why don't we do some? What did I buy now?
All right.
What did we buy now?
All right, this is what did we buy now? Because we're always buying. Larry and I buy the dumbest things. Well, they're not dumb to us, but they're like most people would be like, "Why do you have that? Why do you need that?" Because we need and want everything is the problem.
Yeah, we get that a lot from our families.
Yeah,
We bring stuff home. Look what we got. Why? Why did you
and
do
like zero interest too.
No.
Like it's like, oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
cool. Or,
that?
they were like, yeah.
Yeah. Nope, never.
So we went to Frightmare on the Falls, like we were talking about earlier, and one of my goals was to get a Jason mask.
Yes.
I needed to get one, and so I got this beauty here.
Yep, it's a beauty.
This thing is awesome. Look at the cool cut. What side's up?
You should wear that for the rest of the show.
I should.
You really should.
It's so nicely done. So there's a it's called Devil's Latex is the name of the company. And this guy Steve Bellamy, he does all sorts of masks for like everything like you can think of, and they're all latex and they look awesome. So not only did I buy this, which like this is a mask that's like made by this guy.
Like it's solid. Like it's not like it's like a regular like a hockey mask.
Yeah. And so not only did I get that, I also got the Jason head. It's a mask that's
actually way more terrifying than the mask.
It is. And then you put that on top.
Yeah.
My wife Jen came home. She goes, what was that downstairs? Because all she saw was this.
So ridiculous.
It's still kind of hanging out behind my head.
Get that out of there.
But anyways, it was like I wasn't gonna get the whole head, but then Larry said, "Oh, you gotta get the head with that as well." So then I ended up buying that as well, and it's like such a cool, but it's a cool display piece.
It is. Well, and it came with a stand too, like a stand to mount it. I'm like, if you're gonna get this thing, you're gonna display it, so you gotta go for the whole package. You can't, you're not just gonna sit that in the corner. You got to go through the whole thing. So yeah,
I love this thing.
Yeah, it was worth you buying all of that to me.
I might even wear it for Halloween. Who knows?
That would be good. Yeah, you should do that.
So that was the thing I bought, and it was like it wasn't cheap, but it was worth getting. Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah, your kids will have it. They'll give it to their kids. It'll be a family heirloom.
It really will be. The kids will love it. Like
the grandkids
20 years from now. Yeah. So anyways, Devil's Latex is the name of the company that did it. Steve Bellamy, you can look him up, and I think you can order online from him in that too. And he's got so many like everything like you can think of like horror wise. He's got it looks so cool. Like his masks
he's a really talented guy. Yeah, really, absolutely. Look him up. You can follow him on Instagram too. The Devil's Latex. Follow his Instagram page, and you'll see all of the stuff that he's got. It's just awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so I did a little purchase myself.
All right, nice.
We've talked in the past about popcorn buckets, and we've each like sort of purchased them over the years, and there's been and then I kind of realized, okay, this is kind of ridiculous. They're huge, and what am I going to do with these things? And they're expensive, and blah blah blah. But then, of course, a cool one pops up, and I had to buy it.
Oh,
so
no.
I gotta back up a little bit. So I got the 40th anniversary DeLorean.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, it's really hard. There we go. Yeah. So it's like not only is it a popcorn bucket, but it lights up. So it's really hard to show. The front headlights light up, and the bumper, and it slides out, and these pieces at the back. It's like a full-on toy.
Yeah, it's cool. Where's the popcorn go?
You open the doors. The doors open like the DeLorean doors, and then trays slide out from inside the doors.
That's actually pretty cool. Where did you get that from?
From Cineplex, like from the movie theater. They had one sitting there, and I was like, you know what? I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, but I thought they have one left. I really okay, I'll just get it. So I got it and sat with it on my lap during whatever movie it was that I was watching. But it's the 40th anniversary, and they're going to be re-showing Back to the Future in IMAX.
Yeah.
I think this coming week, actually. So it's in preparation for that. But I'm such a big Back to the Future fan, and I was like, I can't turn down that popcorn bucket because
Yeah, that's cool actually. That's
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Do I need it? No.
No.
Do I have it? Yes.
Did I need all three of them on 4K and Steelbook? No,
Yeah,
but I did buy them
no.
all because they were there.
Yes. Yeah.
You kind of need them. You kind of need them.
You really do. You really do.
That's absolutely amazing. That looks so cool, and I might have to keep my eye open for that because that's something I would love
You
to
sure
get.
would. And you really should buy it. Yeah.
I really should actually
Yes.
put it beside my Galactus bucket.
Yes,
That'll be
exactly.
all set to go.
Yep.
All right, well, let's move on to the pop capacitor.
All right.
All right, it's time for the pop capacitor where we look back at, some like a movie, a TV show, whatever it is, a game,
A toy.
The one time we did a toy. And so and then we basically say, does it stand up? And this week we're looking at Something Wicked This Way Comes. It's available on Disney Plus right now. Director Jack Clayton, written by Ray Bradbury, and released in 1983. My one-line synopsis: an evil ringmaster brings his twisted circus to a small town with interesting and demonic results.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go.
Why would you not want to watch that?
I don't. You have a little history on this, right? Like I didn't know much about this. You're the one that mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it before, but I don't remember it 100%.
Unless you saw it in the theater in 1983, it's very unlikely that you did see it because so it stars Jonathan Pryce, Jason Robards, Pam Grier, Diane Ladd. Like, it's got a really solid cast. But so it was written by Ray Bradbury. It was Ray Bradbury. First, I've got some notes here, so I'm gonna kind of refer. He wrote the original screenplay. He wrote the screenplay, but it was adapted from his 1948 short story that was called Black Ferris in 1958, and then he intended for it to be made into a movie and to have Gene Kelly direct it. Like, that was so. This thing has been sort of on the table for a very long time. It was at one point Steven Spielberg was tagged to direct it, or showed interest in directing it. That would have been an interesting one. Yeah. So this movie itself was plagued with all kinds of troubles behind the scenes. The director Jack Clayton and Ray Bradbury were friends, which is how Jack Clayton got hired. But they had a falling out because Jack Clayton secretly had somebody rewrite the screenplay without Ray Bradbury knowing it. And so they clashed and they parted ways. And then after test screenings of the thing, the director's cut didn't fly with people. So they sidelined Disney. It's because it's a Disney movie. Disney sidelined Clayton. They said, you're not involved right now, the director. They fired the original editor. They scrapped the original score. And they spent 6 months reshooting and re-editing and rescoring the film. They put an additional $4 million into this thing to essentially redo it from the start. So it was sort of a mess. And then when it finally came out, the final budget for this thing was $20 million to make it. It made $8.4 million in the box office. So Disney, it was a bomb. Like, it got mixed reviews by critics, but it was considered a bomb. And so Disney disowned it essentially. So once it finished its theatrical run, they shelved it. So it it may have run on TV, maybe once or twice, but they didn't give it a home video release for years and years. It finally came to Blu-ray in 2021. But that Blu-ray is now out of print. There was a DVD release. So and they never ever made it available on streaming anywhere until October 3rd of this year, 2025. That was the first time they put it on Disney Plus. So all these years later, so it was almost impossible to see this thing. So it was plagued with, so but because of that, it was always intriguing to me. Like
Yeah.
Disney made a horror movie, and I really want to see it because I didn't catch it when it came out. So I did manage to find a DVD copy of it. So that's how I watched it. I bought a DVD copy probably 6 months ago, not knowing it, thinking it will never be released. So I found
Right.
like a international release of the DVD, bought it, and then 6 months later, now it's on streaming. So it is now available. You can watch it. But yeah, so that's the sort of the backstory of this thing. It was a bit of an embarrassment for Disney. And so it went the way it went, but it was like the cast was pretty stacked. Like they
Yeah.
they put a lot into it. So
I find it funny too, like back then, like now, if a production's having issues, we know about it. So
yes,
it leaks, someone knows about it, that there's been reshoots and this and that.
yep,
And now back then no one would have known that, like all
no,
the like the troubles it was having behind the scenes.
yeah,
And like sometimes you hear about all this too, and you're like, is it worth finishing this movie? Is it worth re-putting money in if you have to basically reshoot and
you're like, yeah.
rewrite and fire all these people? Like,
Well,
is it that big a project that needs to be finished?
well, that's what I was thinking. Why would they put another $4 million into this thing that obviously their first cut of it was awful? And like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't they just say, you know what, let's just cut our losses and move on? But no, they were doing, and I think it was because it came out at a time in the early 80s when Disney was trying to break from their like super family friendly. They wanted to diversify. They wanted an older audience. So they did the Black Cauldron animated movie, which was quite dark.
yeah,
And then they wanted to do this. And it's also Ray Bradbury. Like he was, it's like doing a Stephen King movie. They had this property, they owned it. They probably wanted to make use of it. Originally, Ray Bradbury wanted, because Ray Bradbury was given the opportunity to help with casting and all that stuff. He wanted either Peter O'Toole or Christopher Lee to play the main lead. So they were going to put some money into this thing. But anyway, so that's why they were really pushing for it, because Disney really desperately wanted an older audience, like more an adult audience, and to not be known just for their family fare. So yeah, so that's why, because this is quite dark. Like this is a really dark movie
for Disney for sure. Yeah,
for Disney. I mean, it's a pretty dark movie generally, I think,
yeah.
but it's pretty dark. So anyway, that's why they pushed it so hard. They didn't know how to do it, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's like, so we'll do some hits and misses.
Okay.
Obviously, plot points will come out as we go.
Yeah.
So I'll let you start with a hit if you
Okay.
have one.
I do. I actually have some.
Yeah, yeah.
Quite a few.
I've heard through the grapevine you have a lot of hits, not as many misses, but we'll
I
see.
do. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting discussion here. Okay, so we'll start right at the top. The score was written, like I said, the original score was scrapped. They
Yeah.
scrapped it because they thought it was too dark and too menacing, whatever. So they hired James Horner to score this movie. So it's a James Horner score, and he's phenomenal. So my first hit is the opening theme for this movie. I just think it's like just dark and foreboding, and it tells you that bad stuff is coming. I really like the score to this movie. I think it's very, like, all the way through. It goes from like really dark to light and happy, and but then back to dark again. And so I think James Horner's score on this is a big hit for me. I really enjoyed listening to that.
I had a bit of a miss with it.
Oh, okay.
I liked it generally.
Yeah.
I thought I think it might have been the main theme sounded exactly like a ripoff of the Death Star March from Star Wars. Like if you listen to it, I was like, why does it sound so much like the Death Star March? Like it was very similar.
No, I'd have to listen to it again. I
Like,
didn't
you listen
catch
to it
that,
again, and maybe this is why you like it so much, because it's like because it's like
Subconsciously.
very familiar.
Yeah, subconsciously, I'm like, this is a new Star Wars movie.
Every time I kept hearing it, I'm like, this sounds exactly like the Death Star March. Like, I mean, with a few notes off and on.
Yeah.
Like, but it was very similar to me.
Oh,
to it,
all right.
so.
I'll have to listen to that again. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
The but other than that, I did like the music in it generally. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll start with I'm gonna go. I've got like a hit and miss with the look of the movie, but I'll
Okay.
start with my hit. And I thought like it was a great looking film generally. Like it
Yes.
was it's kind of a time period film.
Yeah.
And I thought they really captured that. The
Yeah.
cinematography was very good in it. The lighting and the moods they set were very, very good.
Yeah.
It were excellent and effective. It looked like, and it did seem like a film that had a pretty decent budget as well behind it, like in the way
Yeah.
it was done.
Yep.
But so I thought generally it looked pretty good. And
I
I'll
agree.
flip to my miss, unless you
Okay.
want to add to that.
Well, I had the same thing as a hit. I said it felt so it was supposed to take place in the 1930s. The original book took place in 1910, 1913, something like that. This one they made the 1930s, and I had the same thing. I said it felt very authentic, like it felt like authentic 1930s. There
Yeah.
was in fact like a store that sold cigars, and they had attached to the wall like a brass hand that what must have been like connected to a gas terminal or something, and it had a constant flame that was on this hand. So somebody would buy a cigar
Oh
and
yeah,
move
they could just
the
light
hand
it
out, and it would light you could light it just was really cool. Like I was like, that's really cool. So they paid attention to details like that. So yeah, I thought the setting and the look of the film was really authentic and felt good.
Now, I don't know. This is a miss that I have with this as well. I don't know if this was just the print of it. There were a few there. Oh, first of all, there was a few like sunset scenes that looked totally like stock footage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they didn't look like they were part of the movie at all. Like they
No.
just like were a totally different like sort of style of footage than the
Yes.
ones that were in the movie. Like
Yeah.
not as clear, I guess, like not as
Yeah.
crisp.
Yeah.
But there was also a scene in particular where there's two boys in it that are sort of like the main boys that are the I guess the protagonists, I guess,
Yeah.
in it. Like and they sneak into the circus and they go under a tent because there's the main villain is Mr. Dark.
Yes.
And so they look under the tent to see what's going on in there. And the long shots were super blurry. I don't
Yes.
know why they weren't like very like and then if they did a close up, it was crisp and looked like the film. But then when
Yeah.
they did the long shots, they were just like very, very blurry. And I don't know why that was.
Well,
Um,
let me just jump in here. One of the things that happened is because they had to reshoot because they scrapped a lot of it and reshot. The reshoots were 6 months later. And these were young boys, and boys grow up fairly quickly. So apparently, you can actually see an age difference if you know what you're looking for between shots. So it's possible that those long shots were shot 6 months later, or you know what I mean? Like they
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
shot at the, so it might be that. It might be the reshoots that caused that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the quality was different or whatever. Maybe that's why they had to redo it because some of the shots were so terrible. I don't know, but there was this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found on the long shots, they were like in this tent scene, and it had a guy with like one of those like bowls on his head that was going to get electrocuted or whatever. It was that whole
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
The anytime they did a wide shot, it was super blurry, and
Yeah.
it just looked like totally different quality
Film.
film stock than they used for the other. I don't know why that was, but yeah, that would make sense if they shot it sort of in two different bits. That would make
Yes.
total sense.
Yeah, I that's all I can come up with, but I agree. And that was, I mean, I guess that is a miss for me too. I mean, it was 1983, so obviously there was no CG or anything like that, but some of the like compositing shots were quite obvious. Like they were, you could see the cutout, where
Yeah.
they, stuff was happening, was layered, like whether it was a matte painting or like shot, like a moving shot that was behind another shot. You could really tell the compositing stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, yeah, sure. All right, I'll give you another hit that I quite liked. I know some people may not, but the movie opens and closes with a narration. So it's one of the boys is now grown up, and it's his adult voice narrating the opening and the closing of this movie. That wasn't originally in Ray Bradbury's script. That was part of the rewrites. Disney paid him to say, to write this narration to give you some context. I really liked it. I thought it sort of made it feel like almost like an American folk tale. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it felt almost like, in Stephen King's Stand By Me, the movie, it's the same. Like the author is narrating one of the boys is grown up and he's narrating that. It felt like that to me. Like it felt almost like a Stephen King sort of narration. And I thought, like, as the camera's flying through the town and you see the town and you see like people buzzing around, it felt like it made it feel like a folk tale. Like I thought
Right.
I liked that. I thought the narration added something for me.
Yeah, I thought it was. I like that sort of setup in movies where it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is that like that character, nothing's going to happen to them really, because it's like. I mean, but other than that, I mean, it's a kind of a neat way to set the story up, and I liked the way they did that. I thought that was a great add-on. If that was an add-on, I thought that was a very smart add-on.
Yes.
It kind of got you into the film really quickly.
Yeah. It also going like this. I'm adding this as a hit, and combining this with the setting, like the sets. It takes place in October, and it feels like fall. And to me, it felt very cozy. Do you know what I mean? Like it felt like a warm, like you're sitting around a fire and somebody's telling you a story about what happened in this town in the fall in October. And it just when if you watch this movie in October, in the fall, it just feels like cozy.
Yeah.
I can't think of another word, but yeah. So I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like it does attach you to those characters fairly quickly too, which was good.
Yeah.
I have a miss. I feel like I can have more misses than hits on this one, but
yeah.
we'll see.
Yep.
I not sure who this was tailored to, and I think it was obviously like it was it was horror based. I'm assuming for more adults.
Yeah.
I think.
That's I think what their goal was, to reach more adults, but yes.
Okay, so I just found it had like I don't know how to describe this, like a Disney feel.
Yes.
Like it felt like a Disney movie. Like
Yeah.
and it's like like it had like that whimsical style of horror music. In the way it was shot. I don't know what it was. It just as soon as I started watching it, I'm like, this feels like a full-on Disney movie, like the Apple Dumpling Gang or something. Like I wasn't sure. Like it just had that sort of like general feel to it. So it kind of took me out of the horror element in that it had such a strong like Disney like footprint on it, I guess you could say. But it's like it's not a bad thing. It's just it just took away like what I wanted to see in it, because it just like I don't know what it is about Disney. It just they have a certain style, and it's like in a certain, like the music's a certain way and everything it's like watching a Hallmark movie. Like you know when you're watching a Hallmark movie, and I find with Disney, especially like it looked like something that would have been on the Wonderful World of Disney.
Yes.
Like on a Sunday night, like I would watch with like my family or whatever. Like it totally had that feel to it. And it's again not a bad.
I think part of that is that it was shot on the Disney studio lot, so it looks like a set, like it looks like a studio set, like, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like they're in a real town. It looks like facades of buildings. It kind of has that look, so it doesn't feel exactly real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like it even has that sort of like where you can see the extras. Like it's like, okay, you walk this way and you walk this way. This horse will go here. And then you can see the direction behind them, like to set up this like perfect town or whatever they were trying to set up. But it had such a Disney feel to it. It took me out a little bit of what they were trying to do with it. But again, being a Disney movie is not a bad thing. I think in this case, it took me out of the movie because of that. So
right. Okay. So I'm going to counter that.
Okay.
So I totally agree that like that opening bit, it felt 100%, it felt Disney, but then it turns not Disney. Like it turns quite dark, because this Mr. Dark they don't really say what he is or who he is exactly, but he's obviously not a good guy. But he tortures people. He, like, at one point, Jason Robards, who's an older man, he's holding his hand and like literally rips his hand open. At one, that's not Disney. Like there's a lot of stuff in there that's not Disney at all. Like literally there's a guy being electrocuted at one point. So it's almost like it throws you off. Like it you know what it feels like to me? And this is probably why I liked it. It felt like the first It movie, because the first It movie starts out in this quaint little town and everybody's happy and the kids are riding their bikes and they're joking and they're laughing, and then it turns like really vicious.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this felt like to me. Like it starts feeling like everything's happy and it's very Disney like, and then all of a sudden it turns and becomes like violent and very dark, and yeah, I agree, it does feel like Disney, but to me that was okay, because by the time of the end of the movie I was like, woo, that was quite a ride.
Yeah, I just felt even like the horror element still had a Disney, like there's something Disney-ish in there, and I didn't know what it was, and I just couldn't like. So, but I mean, it definitely was darker than a general Disney movie.
Yeah.
Like so.
I'd say so. I'll throw another hit in there. To me, it felt almost like an episode of The Twilight Zone, because, and I don't want to give too much of the plot away, just because if it's, you can now see it, and probably you may not have ever seen it, so I don't want to give too much of the plot away. But it sets people up like The Twilight Zone did. So, for example, like people wish for things, but then be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. Like it felt kind of Twilight Zone-y to me. Like things were happening to people that would happen in an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a kind of a cool thing. Like it felt like that. Like, things are going well, but then they're not. So yeah,
that was one of my hits as well. Is that I thought the actual story was good. Like I thought there was some like it was a little messy, but I thought it was like a good that the ideas were good in it, and I like the idea of people, again, like you're saying, like wishing for something. I wish I was younger. I wish I was this or that. But there's a twist to it. It doesn't. Like they'll make you younger, but it's something's not quite right. Like it's just not the same as you had hoped it would be. So there's always some sort of like dark turn in it as well. There's a price to pay for wishing to be something that you're really not anymore. So
that's right.
So I love that whole idea. I like the whole circus idea. And I also, I might be the only one that thinks this. I don't know. I find parades really creepy.
Oh yeah,
because there's a big parade. There's a parade scene in it, which I thought was actually really well done. But I find parades like from like the Wicker Man. There's a big parade in that's like creepy. Like even the movie Thanksgiving when they have like the parade. Like every time there's a parade, something goes wrong. Like in a movie, like there's like never can a parade go right in a movie at all. But I find parades generally kind of creepy, and I'm finding them more so as I watch more movies that include a parade element to it. So.
Well, and this parade was particularly creepy because the people who are walking in it, like some of them look like regular people, like in clown costumes, but other ones have like mutated heads. And I didn't know if those were masks or if the people had somehow been mutated. But like, so you'd have like a fun clown doing something, and then behind him would be this horrific looking like creature,
like a circus freak almost.
It was a really strange mix of people in there that gave you this really uneasy feeling. But they don't, and what I liked about it is they don't explain it. Like they don't tell you, oh well, he looks like that because he did this, or he's a demon, or we don't need any explanation. It's just this is what Mr. Dark, it's Mr. Dark's Pandemonium Carnival. That's what this whole thing is called. It shows up in town, it sets up in the middle of the night, and it causes pandemonium. But anyway, there's no explanation for why it's so creepy, but it is. This parade is really creepy.
And it seems like in the movie that he lands in a town, picks 4 or 5 people that like have sort of like a wish that they could be something else, changes them and takes them to the next town. Like, because I'm assuming a lot of the people in that circus are from other towns and things. So.
I think it's like a touring thing. In fact, they referenced that he had been in that town years before and tried this whole thing once before, like a generation ago. So this is what he does. So he changes people somehow, but I just like that they didn't spoon feed us. Like they didn't have to explain that that's what happened to all these people. You're just seeing the result of what Mr. Dark's Pandemonium Carnival does to towns over, I thought that was pretty cool.
I'll go with a miss on this one. I thought the acting was a little bit all over the board in this movie. Like
Yeah.
some over the top, some like on the nose. The kids were pretty good. I thought the kids
Yep.
were generally pretty good in it.
Yep.
Jason Robards was great. I
Yep.
thought. There was a scene where this woman turns young and she's blind,
Yes.
and it's the most over the top reaction to being
Yes.
blind I've ever seen. It is like ridiculous. Like how she's like, "Wah!" She's like, it's like completely like I couldn't stop laughing during it because she was so overacting this whole
Yes.
blindness that it was like,
Yeah. I think it was like the secondary characters who weren't as like nuanced as far as their
yes,
performance goes.
that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Because like I have as one of my hits, Jonathan Pryce plays Mr. Dark, and I thought he was awesome. Like I really thought he was intense, and he's not a creepy looking guy. Like I
No.
wouldn't really peg Jonathan Pryce as playing an evil character, but he was so suave, and but when he talks, it's menacing. And when he just stares at people, like I thought his performance was great.
Yeah, he was good, but he's definitely scenery eating in it. Like
Oh,
he
yeah.
definitely like he was totally like, which was good. That's what he kind of needed to be. He wasn't like as over the top as like the guy that played Doctor Doom in the 1994 Fantastic
Right.
Four, but he was in the range of it, but he still kept it sort of like a bit more low key, which I liked. But
Yeah.
he did like to eat a piece of scenery in some of those scenes. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the one thing I couldn't get over, I don't know why this got in my head, is that he looked like one of the Bee Gees, and I could not. I couldn't get it out of my head for like
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. He just sort of did. He looked like one of the Bee Gees, like from a video or something. And I was like, that was in my head, and I just couldn't get it out.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But he was good. I agree. He was a good villain in it for sure.
Yeah, I thought he was great, and I liked his costume. Like he just looked like a menacing figure.
There was
again, yeah, go
I was
ahead.
going to say there's a scene where I loved that it was him and Jason Robards talking, and the kids. Jason Robards, he's looking for the kids because the
Yeah.
kids have seen stuff and he wants to get rid of them. And so he's talking to Jason Robards, and they're hiding below him.
Yeah.
And it's such a tense scene because they're right there, and Jason Robards isn't saying anything, and he's like not gonna tell, he's not gonna give up the information to Mr. Dark. But and I think Mr. Dark kind of knew where they were, but I'm not really sure 100%. But it was a very intense scene. That was like, I wish there was more of that in the movie because that was a fantastic scene.
Well, they did that sort of again later in a library. The kids were hiding, and Mr. Dark was walking through the library, like just saying menacing things to get them to come out. And I just thought Jonathan Pryce. I was just like so intrigued by his performance. I thought he was so solid. I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah. I've got one more. I'll do it here. It's another hit. So again, this is 1983. So there were a lot of physical effects. There were some composite effects and that sort of thing. And there was lightning that was like obviously sort of drawn on to the screen, like drawn onto the film. So there were those, but there were some physical effects as well, especially at the end of the movie. And I thought they were pretty cool. Like I thought that they were kind of graphic and well done, and it really got the point across without explaining why these things were happening, because the physical effect was so effective. So I thought for 1983 and for this particular the budget that they had and the troubles that they had, I thought the ending was still pretty effective because of the physical manipulation and the monster thing or whatever it is that they created. Yeah.
Mine is my last hit. It was like it was very similar, but it was again a physical a special effect, but it was the spiders. The spider scene. The spider scene's like the scene in the movie, I think, in this particular movie. But it was so well done and so creepy and so like, because who likes spiders? Not a lot of people. And in this scene, if you don't like spiders, This is probably the scene.
Yeah, this was not the movie for you.
No, this is not the movie for you.
Yeah, at least that one scene. Yeah. And it was that's all real. So we again, I don't want to spoil too much about it, but the scene that we're talking about was there were spiders in it, and all of the spiders were real. There were no like animatronic spiders. There was not. It was all real stuff. And the kids talked about. Read an interview with the kids talking about how horrible this experience was, that they had to interact with these
Oh man,
lots and lots of spiders.
that'd be crazy as a kid actor being in a scene like that. Like that would scar you for life.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. All right. Do you have anything more?
No, that's it. That's it. But I
Okay,
guess we can.
I've just got one more real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I liked, again, we were talking about the theme of it. I liked that the overall theme when it came down to it was relationship between a father and a son, between fathers and sons. Like, so it wasn't just like a horror movie. There was an emotional heart to it. And I thought that was really nice. It's not something you see in movies that often, and it's in horror movies that, it's really about this connection between fathers and sons. And I thought that was, it just added an emotional element to it that, made you kind of connect with the characters and give it more heart than just an average horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I thought there was a bit of disconnect for me for some of the characters. But I generally thought it was like pretty good in that way.
Yeah.
So yep.
Yeah.
All
There you
right.
go.
So I'm assuming if I ask you, does this movie still hold up? I'm assuming you will say yes.
It does. For me, I just loved it. I really, it felt like a really cool Halloween fall, like October movie. And it also feels very nostalgic because, it looked like a movie from 1983. So, I felt very nostalgic looking at those old special effects and just how they shot film back then. And it felt very, even though I didn't watch it at the time, it felt like going back in time to me and rewatching it. And I feel like for me, this will be a movie I watch every year around this time because I really liked it. I thought it was great.
All right. Well, I sort of wish this movie hadn't come. Now, as we talk about it, it was a little better than I thought. I don't know if I need to watch it again. It's interesting in the backstory of how it came together, like all the problems it had, all the issues it had, and that it actually made it to screen was kind of cool. The idea, actually, I think everything around it is more interesting to me than the actual movie itself. Like the idea that it was Disney sort of shelved it and then brought it back to Disney Plus, like, I don't know how many years later, like 40 years later or whatever it is now. And it's, I mean, that part is interesting to me. I thought the movie was fine. I thought it was a little clunky. And I thought it did drag at points. There's a point where Jason Robards gives a speech at one point, and it goes on for like 10 minutes. Like I'm like, okay, we got it. Like I just felt some of the special effects and that were a little clunky, and I mean, special effects at that time are always clunky, but I just felt in this case like just some of the characters and just the feel of it just felt disconnected or something to me, and I felt like there was more there to tell and they didn't tell it. And not that I need everything explained, but I think there was like just a little bit more who Mr. Dark was and why he was there. I think is just a few things like that. It was very cool concept. I just think it was just not executed as well as it could have. But again, like it's worth watching if you've never seen it. I don't think I'd watch it again. Like it's not going to be on my list of like October releases.
Well, so that's funny because I bought the, like I said, I bought the DVD probably 6 months ago, and I watched it with my son because I hadn't seen this movie. So I watched it together with my son. My son hated it. He did not like it at all. And at my first watching, I felt like you did. I was like, yeah, that was okay. Like it was a fun movie. It was kind of clunky and whatever. But then because we were doing it for the show, I rewatched it a second time a week or two ago. So I've watched it twice in the last few months. And the second time I watched it was way better. Like I actually enjoyed it a lot more. And I think maybe because I knew what was coming, what the story was about, so I could pay more attention to the setting and acting and that sort of thing. It was like a big difference watching it a second time. So I think you should watch it a second time. That's what I'm saying.
I'll maybe give it one more shot at some point.
Yeah, give
like,
it another shot.
See.
Yeah,
Thank you. I will. I will at some point. I will watch it again and just like now that I know what I know, maybe I'll get something extra out of it that I didn't get the first time. So I will. You will. Yes.
Yeah.
It did not impress me because I think partly too, and this is the fault of Larry. There was a bit of a buildup for me that I thought this movie was going to be like, oh, you got to see this. This is like, I think I had a bit of an excitement level about it that it just didn't reach the level that I thought it was going to. But again, worth seeing if you've never seen it, just because it is. I mean, some people, I know another friend of mine loves it, and so I just it just wasn't for me. I don't know why. I just didn't connect with it. I think the Disney-ness of it kind of threw me off a little bit. If I would have gone in knowing it was like the Haunted Mansion or something, I think I could have accepted it a little more. The Disney-ification of it, but it's a new word. Because it wasn't, I think I just didn't. It took me out of the movie essentially. So,
and that's fair. And I'm a big Disney fan. Like as we've talked about before, I love Disney. I love Disney. So I think that might have connected with me too, because it did feel like that. Like we used to watch The Wonderful World of Disney all the time, so we'd watch like the Apple Dumpling Gang, and those sorts of. So I like that style. So that's why it connected with me too. But I can understand if that's not your thing, then this may not connect. Yeah. So it's totally fair. Like that's a fair assessment of it.
But for sure, just if you haven't seen it, I'd say if you haven't seen it, watch it at least once. You may love it. Maybe if your favorite movie of all time. I think a one shot. Yeah, the one shot for me was fine, but and I know you loved it. So it's and if you loved it, Larry, then it's worth watching at least
100%. It's got the Larry stamp of approval.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We're not 100% on that, but we'll find out. Well, there you go. That's another film done here on Guardians of Geek. Again, you can check out our socials if you haven't. And if you're watching this, either like as a podcast, or we are also now on Rogers TV as well. We lots of places to watch us or catch us. If you watch us on Rogers, welcome. And also you can also check out our back episodes online on YouTube if you haven't seen it. But if you're watching us regularly, you're probably watching us on YouTube, or you're listening to us on any of the podcasts, sort of like the iTunes and the streaming services. So we're covered in all places, basically. Like, so we should do a live one of these one time.
Sure.
We can record it live and do it somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
I don't know where this would happen.
No,
why people would want to see it, but hey,
let's think about this. I think this might be an opportunity for us. I don't know.
There'll be like 4 people in the audience.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks for listening or watching. I'm Loop.
And I'm Larry.
And this was Guardians of Geek.
Bye-bye.
Produced by Matthew C. Loop and Lawrence Simner. A Loop and Larry production.
Bueller.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
Bueller.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Inconceivable.
Brian's right. It's an elf.
Wax on.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Wax off.